14 months ago, I went to visit my son, who is Air Force. I was a single daddy. I raised 3 kids, 2 daughters and a boy. And I went to visit my son, and after about 3 days there, we were out in the desert. I was seeing what he's doing as weapons and munition specialist. I had my back to him 12 feet away, and I hear an explosion. And I turn and see my son falling. Literally blew away part of one of his legs, the calf, up into the thigh. And I'm on my knees, and I have my belt on his thigh trying to keep him from bleeding to death. And called in the helicopter and the medics, and we got him out. I spent 12 months next to his bed at Fort Bliss, Beaumont Regional Medical Center. Teams of surgeons working on him. Every surgery, 9 surgeries, before everyone telling me, we're going to have to take his leg, we're going to have to take his leg. And I kept saying, no, you're not. You will not take his leg. This is my baby boy. Well, I'm proud to say he's in Pensacola. He has his leg. He doesn't need a wheelchair. He doesn't need crutches. He doesn't need a cane. He could walk in here right now. You would not even know, unless he had a pair of shorts on, that anything happened to him. He's jacked. He's cut. He's proud. He's separated from the military. And I told him, and it was the hardest thing for him was being separated. I said, son, honor does not come from wearing a uniform. Honor comes from what kind of man you are. And he manned up. So that's my story. Hard to talk about it, believe me. My attitude was 0 for over a year. I had a hard time being positive about anything. I kept watching these surgeons go in there and work on him. I kept watching the skin grafts die and then having to do it again. I kept having to listen to these nightmares. My attitude was just I couldn't be positive about anything. So I'm here today to show you and to tell you how to stay positive when things are bad. You don't need to be told you're survivors. You know that. You're here. You don't need any preaching from me about hurricanes and oil spills and things. That's not what this is about. We're going to show you today a window of opportunity. An opportunity to recoup losses. Because we don't know what's going to happen this summer. We're going to show you a way to reach a market that is untapped. And I'm going to show you a way to stay positive while you're doing it. I want to introduce someone else that is with me. This is not my assistant. This is Clint Smith. He is president of sales for military media. He and the IT department have worked for years to put together what we are doing now. And I'm going to show you what we've been doing to remind you all. I'm still trying to recover from the story about my son. I'm telling you, it's heartbreaking, and it's also makes me happy. But let's talk about attitude. And I'm going to go to the dry erase board here, and I'm going to tell you how I view life. Now this is me. I view life on a number system. And it starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now my attitude's getting a little bit better. I'm a 5, 6, or a 7. And an 8, 9, or a 10. That's about as good as you get. We all know there's someone in our offices that every time you see them, you feel good being around them. They always have a smile on their face. They're always positive. They're probably an 8, 9, or a 10. But what happens is that when you're an 8, 9, or a 10, sometimes things happen, like with my son, that it starts going downhill. So I'm going to have to rely on my previous marriages to explain this. I've been a single daddy for 19 years, okay? You know, and I think on the video they showed this. I had this beautiful home and it had this walk-in closet. Giant closet. And the mother of my children, believe it or not, she went by the name Kat, but it was Catriona. Sounds a little familiar, like something else we know. And when I'm feeling good, like today, I grab a certain suit. I'll grab a certain sport coat because I'm feeling good, and I put those clothes on and I'm in there and I have this sport coat, and she walks in and she says, I don't have anything to wear. And whoa, wait a minute. Now she's a 4, I'm an 8, 9, or a 10. I said, what do you mean you don't have anything to wear? All of these clothes are yours. This is mine right here. What do you mean you don't have anything to wear? Some of these clothes even have tags on them. Well, here's what's happening. I'm going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Now we have 2 people, and we're both 4 standing in this closet. I know this has happened to you all. You've seen it more than once. Oh, believe it or not, men have rebound marriages. I had one of those as well. Her name was Ivana. I know. Unbelievable. Well, we had a nice closet as well. This is true. We had a nice closet. I'm in there, and I had this suit. I was feeling so good. I was an 8, 9, or a 10. She walks in there. She doesn't say, I don't have any clothes to wear. No. She says, I don't have any shoes. I said, shoes? This whole built-in rack has 50 pairs. I have 2 sneakers, some loafers. What? You don't have any shoes? Are you crazy? What are we doing again? Here I go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Look, this happened even in a relationship where I wasn't married, and her name was Betty. I won't give you her last name. You may know her. And we went through the same thing in the closet. Well, here's what happened with Betty and I. We're sitting at the breakfast nook. She's doing her New York Times crossword puzzle. I'm reading the business section in the sports. We're both 4s. This happened with Pat. It also happened with her. We're both 4s. And her son comes down the stairs. Now, it's Friday. He's in football. He's wearing his Letterman's jacket. You can smell the testosterone on this young man. And the cologne was even worse. And he's a 10. And he comes down those stairs and he turns. And the first thing when he turned, I said, did you take out the trash? It's Friday. You forgot it on Wednesday. And he went, yeah, I took it out last night. And his mother says, Betty, she said, did you do your algebra homework? You made a C on your last test. What's happening here now? He went 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Now we have 3 people. We're all 4s or less. I'm telling you, out here as realtors, when you're talking to individuals, if you're a 0, a 1, or a 2, 3, 4, my advice to you is just go home, put on that uniform you put on in the evening, those sweats, get in bed and get in the fetal position. Because when you're visiting with someone, if you're a 2, 3, or 4 and they meet you, something's wrong. They don't really like you. They don't know what it is. They just feel something's wrong. The idea is not to sell someone, but to get them to want to buy from you. And if you're an 8, 9, or a 10, they're going to want to do business with you. Trust me, it's the way that it works.